All right, boys, we're going. Shane, thanks for coming to the show, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
You pumped?
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
We could have done the podcast up in Boston. We just didn't have the equipment we couldn't lug it up there.
Yeah, it was probably not the best scenario for...
We probably lost half our equipment up there anyways. Hell of a city, Boston.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Holy.
Fun city, a lot of going on.
And the location you're in, because like the rink is right next to Fenway.
Yeah.
Like you're right there.
I mean, there's like Boylston, Newberry Street, like tons of shopping, and then obviously, like you said, Fenway.
Yeah.
But I think just like there's so many schools, like
Yeah.
Harvard's right
All
there,
right there.
BC,
Yeah.
Northeastern, they're all like, everyone's close, so there's so much going on.
One night we went to go see Willie play at Harvard, and we were at Fenway, and we tried to get to Fenway to Harvard, me and dudes, to meet Billy there. And we were a little lost, but once we went on that strip there where the rink is off of, and we just kept going straight down, we found it. Like it seemed confusing, but
Yeah.
the way there it was fine.
It was
Yeah.
also dark.
That probably would have been, you guys walked that?
No, drove.
I was going to say, that'd be a pretty good poke if
We
you
passed
walked
Mike
that.
Stud and all that stuff. Mike Stud was performing.
Yeah,
all
that
the
was
boys.
right on our campus.
Was it?
Yeah.
The bar we went to was on their campus.
Yeah, see, I thought we were going opposite ways.
If you
for the
look,
Mike Stud and
if you
everything.
look at a map of Boston, it looks like someone took a bowl of spaghetti and threw it on. And there's just a bunch of swiggles left, right, and center. But
Well, they just keep updating things, right? It's a major city for like 3 different
Yeah.
sports. Like there's
Yeah.
17 universities, all who compete at the highest level. Like, you know what I mean? Northeastern, like you said, Boston.
well, just the
Harvard.
sport. So many. Not even hockey.
No.
So many sports. You ever go to a Pats game?
That's the only one I didn't get to.
No.
So I got Celtics. That was my first ever NBA game.
Sick.
Oh
yeah, with Brady. I think you got a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the floor. And then
Humble brag.
Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins. The only one I've never got to was the Pats, but I heard they're a blast. Like, I know a couple of my buddies. I think there's actually like shuttles that go from Boston down there.
Oh,
and
yeah?
They, like take you back after the game, but we never got to them. Or a couple guys did, but I never went. Never made it.
What was your first experience like in Boston? Like the first couple weeks there, confusing, or does the BU facility make you like feel comfortable right away?
Yeah, I remember. So we had to go in like the start of my freshman year, like before my freshman year started for summer school.
Yeah.
And like we had no clue where anything was. Like we knew comm apps because like if you just stay straight, you can find everything. Like for BU, at least for campus. But like that summer we lived literally like 4-minute walk from Fenway. And so like we were just we'd go to Red Sox games on the weekend and like we just walk from our dorm, walk back. And but other than that, like we didn't really know much about like campus, where to be in like the, you know, the city for that stuff. So but it kind of adjusted pretty quick, and now it's like you know all the spots.
Yeah.
Does everyone have to do the summer school thing? Because I know there's a couple other people that just signed in at BU or whatever it is. They're going up now to start classes or whatever.
Yeah, so like that's what I was saying. Like when you're an incoming freshman, you go like right now till like August.
Yeah.
And then after you've been there a year, you have to stay summer 1, which is like so there's 2 sessions, summer 1 and 2. So you got to stay like for summer 1. I think I was just there. It's like end of May to like for start of July.
Who did you live with when you first got there?
Like my very first year.
Yeah.
Kachuk.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You were buddies with Kachuk?
Yeah.
That's unreal. Or
So,
roommates
like,
with him, sorry.
What happened was we were just like assigned random roommates to start like summer school.
Yeah.
And then like going into like the actual freshman year, we were just like, yeah, like, do you want to just keep living? So then we lived together all freshman year too. And then obviously he went on, he left. So then I got a new roommate this year, a new roommate in the summer. So
Sick.
You want to keep the roommate, like if it's working for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's comfortable for you. You're not just going to be like, all right, see ya.
yeah,
So
I mean, it's
it
like,
works out better.
it's not like, I feel like everyone's got a pretty good situation. Like
True.
it's only a couple guys, the guys are like, fuck, like I'm not living with him just cause they're like a slob or something like that. So
Is Kachuk a Slav? You gotta be honest.
nah, he wasn't. Yeah, he had his moments. He wasn't bad though. Good roommate. Real good roommate.
Probably a riot, funny. Probably was all kinds of laughs, I bet.
Yeah.
So
So like our room, our freshman year was literally like no bigger than where we're sitting right now. So like I could literally like lay in my bed, like reach over and like put my hand on his bed. Like we literally had like a little closet, but you have to. So like it's just brutal, like the dorms. But it's fun because like our floor had, it's like 2 of our other teammates were like 2 doors down.
Yeah.
And then like 2 floors down was like 4 more of our teammates, and like we had 2 lacrosse guys on both sides of us, so it was just like a shit show like on our floor. Like our whole floor was pretty much athletes, so like you're just in and out of everyone's room.
Don't
like
think
that was the best
by
part.
Design.
Yeah, that was the best part of living in the dorm. Like I missed that this year living in an apartment, because like you come home like Sunday morning, you're just buzzing in everyone's room, like seeing what went down, like just getting to shoot the shit with everyone all
Getting
the time.
the stories.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I remember just being in that facility or just being around that neighborhood. I don't think I saw anyone over the age of 30. Everyone was just so young, just student athletes running around everywhere.
Yeah, like if you're on BU, it's usually like obviously students, but that's the thing too though, like we also are like in the city, so like you're passing people on the street who like could be walking to their job, like but like we're a little bit outside, you know what I mean, like we're not really right down there by like the garden and stuff like that. So
the garden's kind of like in its own zone though, I found, because we were obviously trying to hit all the places we were there, and most things were right in that core, but then you had to take, I can't remember if it was a train or whatever, but you had to go down through another area just to get to TD Garden. So we're like, no worries, we're not going there.
Yeah,
they had pro scalpers there. We had Buddy trying to sell us tickets to the Bruins game.
Yeah, he
tried
was
to take my number down.
Hey Canada!
Guy was a pro.
Oh, he's definitely.
God, he almost got my number. Like he tricks you into words, and he's like, "Okay, well, what's your number?" I'm like, "I can't give you my number, bud." Some crazy down there.
Yeah, that's like the Red Sox. That's for the first time we had. I'm like, they're not budging. Like they're not moving. It's like, guys, I feel like just buy those tickets to try and sell them. Like,
tickets are pretty cheap usually anyways.
Yeah,
like I've gone to a few Sox games, and I paid like $9 for tickets sometimes.
I mean, you can get in there pretty cheap.
Yeah. It's the experience as a whole, right? Fenway's one of those monumental stadiums that's been around forever, so just to go there is what makes people excited, right?
Yeah.
So it's something you have to experience if you go to Boston, I feel like. No,
for sure. Remember the first time we went, it was like, whoa, it's pretty cool stadium, like just being in there, and then obviously around the street. Like this year when they win game 6, they were in LA or
they were in LA.
So we were down like just around like Fenway, and it was just a zoo. Like they had every street shut down, like literally for like I don't know how many kilometers you couldn't get in. We had to walk back like to our dorm, and like the streets in front of our dorm were already blocked off just because they thought like, oh, it wasn't even at home, like the game wasn't even at home. And they had everything shut down. Like,
well, there's so many bars in that little area there. All the bars just must have been full.
Yeah, just packed.
What's the bar we went to?
The Baseball Tavern.
Was it called the Baseball Tavern?
I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
we were like, it was right next to Fenway, so when we went down to Fenway, it was right across from it, and we had these red vests on the whole time. So anytime we had work to do at Fenway, we'd just go across the street to the Baseball Tavern, and they just knew us from the red vest. Well, have you told that story on the podcast yet about how you sold the vest?
No, I don't.
Do you want to tell it? Do you want to?
All, I can, I guess.
Tell it.
Yeah, okay. So the thing is, I don't really remember most of it, but anyways, this guy kept coming at me and being like, "I want to buy your vest, man. I want to buy your vest." And I just thought he was chirping us, right? Because we were wearing red puff vests from fucking Old Navy.
Is that what they are?
That's what that one was. So he just kept pounding me, and I was like, "Man, just fuck off!" Like, seriously. And anyways, he kept pounding me, and I went out for a smoke, and he came out, and he was with his dad, of all people, and he's like, "Last chance, man, like $200." And I was like, well, I guess, yeah, like if you put $200 in my hand, I'll give you the vest. And he's like, "I want the hat too," because we had the crashed ice hats, and I was like, 50 extra bucks for it. So he went in, man. He went into the ATM. He gave me the teller spiel. He was like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, like that. He gave me the receipt. I took the vest off, put it in his hands, and I gave him the hat. And then he traded me his Carhartt sweater because I was freezing. And he gave me this like big, I don't know what to call it. It's like a big white
it's a Viking hat,
yeah, with like the Patriots logo on it.
This is at Baseball Tavern?
This is at the Baseball Tavern.
This guy, and then I was like, man, wait till he wakes up and reads the tag on that. He must have just saw we were bigwigs, right? Because, like I said, I thought he was kidding. But anyways,
and ever since that story, we fell in love with Boston, and we got to go back. That's why we were kind of pissed that you signed the contract to go pro in Colorado. Like maybe we could go to Boston and visit you again.
We're super pissed.
Selfish.
Ruined it. I ruined the trip.
But yeah, quick $250 when you're running out of money.
That's a good bounce. Yeah.
Well, it was basic business, right? Profit margins through the roof.
$15
paid like
vest.
$30 for the vest or whatever. $50, and then boom, buddy, here you go, receipt and all.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Anyways,
all right, let's talk about you. Let's talk about where we all. The Halifax McDonald's, we've all played there. I guess let's talk about your year there, and then how you moved on to the UCHL, then Boston, then where you are now. I guess talk about the journey from the Halifax Max to the UCHL, because obviously coming from here, the dream is to go the Q, junior, all that route, and you wanted to do something different. Not a lot of people do that. I guess just talk about that transition for you and why you did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the Max, it seems like it was 4 years ago, so I mean, that was fun. Like that was like the best years because you're still playing with the guys that you played with like all the way up. So like your best friends that you played with, you know, every year, every second year, whether they're a year older than you. And then so like that was kind of like my last year of playing really with like my best buddies. So like that one's always special for me. And then obviously the next year, like, you know, drafted to the Q, and you know, all my buddies that were drafted are all there playing. Like, I don't know if there's many guys like in my age group that really went the same route as me. And I think that like just for me, like that year, like I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I went to the USHL, and you know, I was in a good spot, and like I had great billets there. You know, I think that's really like half the battle is like if you find a good spot to live, like good billets, and coaches were good, everything was good. So after that year, I was kind of like, oh, could go back, and I think I was drafted again.
Yeah,
so I was drafted back again by St. John, and like they, you know, they made a push, and I met with them, but I was like, you know, like kind of opened my eyes to that like college route down there, seeing guys on my team that are committed, and like, you know, just, you know, Googling, just doing all that type of shit about like the schools and the facilities. And then so I was like, no, I think I want to try and do this and go back for my second year. And I think it was like around Halloween of my second year, or like October-ish, I started taking visits. Yeah. So I took like you get 4 official visits, so that means like they pay for it. So I took one to Minnesota Duluth, Wisconsin, and then Boston U, obviously, and then Boston College.
Okay, cool.
And so I visited those 4 schools, and then for me, I just felt the best at Boston University, and you know, I like the coaches, and the facilities were sick, and like you guys said, like the city's sick, and the program obviously. So, and then after that was my second year junior, so that was my draft year too, and then, you know, that was just kind of like a whirlwind of a year. Like it just kind of flies by, and like, because you're looking forward to it the whole year, so you're kind of just like wishing away like what's going on, which is shitty, but like it's just the way it works because you're so excited for like, you know, the combine and then the draft, and you're just always looking ahead. But you know, like that was just such a good experience like through the whole thing, and then getting to Boston University, like my 2 years there were like just unbelievable. Like so much fun. Like, you know, the hockey's unreal. Like just being a hockey player there at that school is like, you know, something special. Like sounds fucking corny, but
it's like royalty.
Yeah, but it's like it's pretty special. So you know, I wouldn't trade for anything. Like, you know, so much fun. Like just the best experience there.
I just wanted to ask you, at what point did you decide that the USHL might have been a thing? Like who I guess would have put it in your ear for the first time, or was that something you just decided on your own that you were going to try an alternate route?
Yeah, so I actually Cam Lee, from down where I am in Herring Cove, Ferguson's Cove, he was playing there before me, and I think Michael O'Leary was actually there before me too. Okay, so Halifax kid was playing in Notre Dame, so I knew those two were there, and then it was kind of like my advisor. Well, actually, I guess I can say agent now. I'm not a college player, but he reached out, and like there's actually a rule, so like you can't play out of province in Canada as a 16-year-old unless it's major junior. So like I couldn't just like go to the BCHL. I couldn't just go to like the USHL or the AJ or like anywhere. So I had to file like what's the word, like a exception, like the exception letter.
Yeah, like you did for midget.
Yeah, so I had to file that through Hockey Canada, like to get exception to go to play in the USHL. And because I was like, oh well, I don't know, like I'm not going to stick around here and play like junior A for the year. So I had to get that, and they approved it, so then I was good to go. And
was that a hassle though? Sorry, was it like getting all that paperwork done and stuff?
That wasn't too bad. No,
I heard trying to work in the States is a bitch. Like trying to fill
that stuff was like getting I had a shit show with that.
Get your visa and
with stuff. My we can get to that with my like school visa. Yeah, I was in junior, but like getting that exception to go play in the States was easy. They approved, Hockey Canada approved it, and then I was good to go. And then my agent just kind of found like Waterloo. He knew the coach, a good spot, like pretty good like town. I guess all those towns are kind of the same, like small junior towns, but it was really central, like good travel, good organization. So we just pretty much like, I'm a Canadian kid, like all those teams down there aren't like really like looking. Yeah. So it was pretty much just him calling them like, hey, like I don't know, like tell your scouts, like get a look, and it was pretty much just like draft them. Because, like, you know what I mean? If they believe, because, like, none of those teams are, like, looking. You know what I mean? So, if, like, if they find a scout who's like, yeah, like, we've seen him play, blah, 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 like, yeah, he's good, and he says he want to come, it's like, okay, there's, like, 10 rounds, so it's like, just use a pick, pretty much. It was pretty much like we could have, if it was, like, say, you know, the other team, like, it was Chicago, one of the teams in USHL, like, we would have just called them. Like, it was kind of easy, but, like, we just waited, and then they picked me, and then I was there for camp. But
at that point, there's like video footage and stuff too, though.
Yeah.
Like if they really wanted to see it, and at that point you were like a highly touted prospect, so most of the cameras would be on guys like you, you know. So it's like in that era, it actually helped you out.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, at the time, there's probably clips up because like that was around the Q draft and stuff too. So
you're really young at that point too. Not that you're old now, but like I was gonna ask you, at that age, you say you get drafted to the Q. So what do? You just tell people you're not reporting because you're going to go down and play somewhere else? Is that like, how does that go?
Yeah, I mean, with my situation, it was kind of like, oh, you had told Cape Breton, like, I mean, like, yeah. We had told Cape Breton, like, no, like, we weren't really interested, really didn't know what we were doing yet, and then they still drafted me, so, like, we just said we were, like, keeping our options open, like, pretty much, like.
And that's fair.
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
I mean, at the time.
A lot of people are like, maybe not.
A lot of people give in. I gave in when the Mooseheads came calling. I signed right away.
But when you don't have other options, though, right? But because my point being is like, that's like you said at the beginning. That's like the dream. That's where you see everybody go from, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, you had known those roots from like Cam and the other guy from Notre Dame. That now this is an option, and then you still have like that stepping stone to either college or right to the pros from there, right? So it's just like now more people are taking that route. It seems.
Yeah, for sure. I mean. I think it's just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, like after my first year, it's like, oh, like, you see all your buddies in the queue and everything's all shiny and you're like, fuck, like, kind of want to go back. But then at the same time, like, once I got to college and I'm like seeing my buddies still in the queue and it's like their 4th year in the queue and they're like, what's going on here? Like, I'm still in Chicoutimi. Like, this is brutal. And like, so I guess like, like it's not like where I was brutal. Like it was awesome, but it's just like you're away from home, like you're way farther than home. Like,
and you're a kid,
you know,
still.
I never got to play at the Metro Center in front of like, you know what I mean? Like,
true.
Like that stuff's cool, but like at the same time, like this, like that's not the end goal really. Like if you don't play at the Metro Center, like, I mean, you can really do whatever route you want. Like it's just like a small sacrifice. Like,
well, it worked out in the end, right? It's nice for you to be able to sit here now and be like, okay, that was the right decision, right? Because it could be the opposite. It could have went the other way, which it didn't. But that's the good part about it.
And Colorado could have a pregame game in Halifax one day, and you could play at the Metro Center.
Now,
so you never know, man.
With the roots there now, right?
Yeah.
But we can rent the ice for you, a beer league game or something, right? We'll sell it out.
Yeah.
When you were talking about BU and how you fell in love with it, I know when you gave us the tour of the dressing room and the gym and all that, and how long were we there for? 45 minutes maybe?
At least.
I fell in love with it too. Like right away. I didn't want to leave. Like I wanted to work out.
Well, everything was like, it seemed like you were in an NHL facility.
Yeah. And that's the thing I liked about BU is obviously like we mentioned, like the history. It's like, you know, like they're a school that's like, you know, they want to make NHLers. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, not like, no offense to like the other schools, but like some other schools, like there's 60 of them.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them don't have NHLers, but like their goal is like their coaches are like, oh, like, you know, when you want to leave, they're like, oh, like stay 4 because like they're all about the team. Or BU's like, not that they're like trying to get you in and out, but it's like they know what everyone's same goal is there. Everyone's there.
And if
like,
you have an opportunity to move up,
like it's just like, you know.
So what do you think the secret to the success is?
I don't know. I think that like the coaching staff we had there is just really good, and like before, even with Coach Quinn before he left to go to the Rangers, like I think they're just good recruiters too. And obviously, you know, the coaches before and the players before built a good program where like guys wanted to play there, and then like you guys have seen, like obviously the facilities and location is pretty appealing for anyone.
I was just like, it would be hard to turn down for sure.
Oh my God, yeah.
Once you just go in there, and even like we didn't get to go into like the ice service because there was like a dance competition. Yeah. So we opened the door. We were actually backstage. So I was like, ugh.
Well, Buddy. Oh yeah, you go.
No, it's fine.
I was gonna say, Buddy almost didn't let you into the rink.
When we were up top?
No.
Oh, through
the
that was
gate.
My favorite part.
Yeah. That was my favorite part.
Me too. I wish I would have had it on camera.
When we were parking?
Yeah, when Buddy was like, oh, you have to have a pass. And you're like, dude, we're literally going up for 10 seconds. Like,
Did you have the pass on you to get in?
No, like, because that was on... Or I did, didn't we? Because I picked you guys up.
You picked us up on the side.
Yeah, so I had a pass.
Yeah, to get in the
but
rink.
Like, they're like weird. Like when there's days on events, they'll like jack the price up. but it's like I still have my pass. Like I'm not paying $25 to get in there.
You just kept saying I'm on the hockey team, and he was just like, what? Like,
yeah, a lot of them like that. Like doesn't really like. All the people working there
can't
don't really
schmooze them.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't know what to do.
I was losing it in the back seat. You just kept going, I'm on the hockey team. Okay, but is it okay for today? I'm on the hockey team. And the guy just wasn't registering. He was just like, well, and eventually you gave up and you're like, I'm just going to go. And then you just went through. For
the longest time, like we had no pass. Like that wasn't even my car, it was my buddy's. And he would just be like, he'd always just drop. He's like, I'm just going in to get my gear. Like I'm on the hockey team. And they're like, okay, like whatever. And then like a couple of times this summer, like I remember seeing, I was driving with one of the other guys on the team. He didn't have a pass or anything, and he just drove up like past the window and like just gave a wave, and like just waited, and he was just like this, like kept waving at him.
Yeah.
And then the guy just opened it. Like they have no clue. So like he had no pass, nothing. He like drove in. If in the morning, if you go, there's no like gate attendant, so you can get in.
Yeah.
But then like getting out, obviously you'd have to pay.
Yeah.
And we just drove past the window, so we couldn't see him. We were just like waving, and he never opened it. He was like, hey, like, so the guy just thought like, well, if he's waving, like I guess he's good.
Must be legit.
Yeah.
That's the new trick. When we go down, we're just gonna wave to him.
Yeah, just pop it open.
It's probably some guys probably give a shit way too much, and then some guys just don't at all, right?
Yeah.
There's no in between for those type of fellas.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you had a great year, man. You're good at hockey. What do you think the secret to that was? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
How are you at where you're at, man? You went first round in the NHL. Were you projected to go first round?
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Don't be.
Yeah.
You were.
I mean, I was ranked there. Like right around there. I think I was like, I don't know, like 16th, 17th ranked like North American skater before. And then I don't know what like Uncle Bob and all those guys had me at, but I think I was like ranked right around there.
Well, me and Dudes actually just got back to the draft. I don't know if you know that. We didn't get drafted, but
passed over
again.
Well, we got next year. We're still eligible. But I guess talk about your draft experience when Ottawa picked you up, and
were they on the radar originally?
Yeah, I want to know about the interview questions and things like that. Like what teams wanted to talk to you and stuff.
Yeah, so at the combine, I actually met with 30 teams. So I met with every team but Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, which was pretty insane. Like I remember talking to a couple other guys, and a couple other guys had 30, but every team but Dallas I met with at the combine. And like the combine's kind of hilarious because like you're so nervous, and then like thinking back now, it's like these scouts are just like douchebags. Like they're asking, like they just try and like scare you in there.
For sure.
And then like but you're scared, so like you're nervous, so you're like just wearing it. But like we always talk about now, like with the guys on our team, are like, if we could go back, like you'd just be like walk in there and be like, okay, like you're really gonna try and like intimidate me. But it's fun. Like most of them are pretty short, like pretty quick. Like some teams are different. Like I remember like Pittsburgh at the time, like they were still in the playoffs because they were like, that was the year that that would have been the back-to-back, like that would have been their second one, 2017.
Yeah. So
they had like two guys in the interview. Like you just sat at the island with them, like, so it's all in the Sabres rink on the suite level. So like you just sat with the two guys, and then like you interview with Toronto, and it's like 20 deep.
Well, they haven't been in the playoffs for months then.
It's just packed. Like, so some teams are like, it's different. Like, it's really relaxed. And then other teams, like, everyone's just grilling at you.
So when there's 20 guys in the room, is all 20 of them asking you questions, or is it just a select few?
Like, just like one guy will pipe up, like another guy from the back, like, but everyone else is just like staring at you. But
being a Maritimer, you're probably not nervous at all. You're like, hey, I'm born to talk. All I do is talk. You ask me anything. How are you doing? You're probably asking questions. How you doing?
Yeah. So that wasn't bad. So, but then like the question you asked with the draft, I knew like I was kind of ranked from that range, like thinking, 20 to, the end of the first. And, kind of just, so you're at the hotel and they bust your whole family over, which is like fun. Like you're with the other players, so like your family gets on, and the other players, like you sure seeing the videos and stuff. And, I was just like, we were just waiting. Like, obviously we're like, when it starts getting picks, like, 18 on, like, we're like, oh, well, like maybe like, here we go. Like
getting ready.
And you're just sitting. And then like, I remember like the teams I had talked to like a lot, like I thought like, oh, like Chicago was one I talked to a lot, and like they picked 26th, and then they ended up trading it. So it was like coming up 26th, it was Chicago. And I'm like, oh, like I feel like talking to my dad, like I feel like, they might pick me. Like I had a lot of dinners with them, like met with them a lot. And then they traded like down. So I'm like, okay. And they traded the pick to Dallas. So I was like, I'm definitely not going here. Like you never even talked to them. But actually, I mean, I've seen some stories like guys getting drafted that, they never met with them. And then they actually took Ottinger, who was my goalie at BU.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of funny. And then Philly picked 27. And they took Frost, that was on the World Junior team. And then I remember, like, I was like, at that point I was thinking like, all right, like Chicago trade down to, I think they traded to like right after me, 29. So I don't even know why I was banking on Chicago. That's who I just like felt confident with.
There's always that one team,
yeah,
right?
like I just felt confident. So I was like, all right, like if I don't get picked at 20, I wasn't even thinking Ottawa. Like if I don't get picked at 29, like we're fucking coming back tomorrow. Like this is gonna suck. Like we're coming back, get a new suit, everything.
Yeah.
And then so we were sitting there and Ottawa's up to pick, and my agent came up the stairs and he whispered in my dad's ear, because I think the media knows like before.
For sure.
And because my dad was sitting on the end of the aisle, he was like, get ready. And like I acted like I didn't hear it. Like I was just sitting there like, oh, I didn't hear. And then my dad starts like calming me down. He's like, you're good, like you're good. Because he knew.
Racing? Your heart was racing?
Because he knew, but like he didn't know that I heard it. So, but then I was kind of like, all right, like that's got to be it. Like that's got to mean it. And then obviously like they call your name and it's just, you know, just a blur from there. Really, you walk down the stairs and get to the stage. Don't know how you get there. And
dude,
then,
that's gotta be you're a good storyteller.
Yeah.
Like you painted that well.
And then you go I remember like we go in the back, and I don't know why, like he was in the same agency at the time, but like I always said like Taze was my favorite player, right? And he was right off the stage because Chicago picked next and he was announcing their pick.
Nice.
So like he like just shook my hand, was like, hey, congrats, man. And then have you ever seen the clip of like when I was drafted?
Yeah, I was watching it today.
Yeah, and like it like Taze like mouse, he looks like an asshole or something.
What did he say though?
I don't know. I don't know if he actually said that or not. Who knows? But like I remember that blowing up on Twitter, and I was like, fuck. Like, my favorite player growing up just like dices me like that on TV.
Dude, they compared you to him. They go, yeah, he's kind of like a Jonathan Taze player.
That's who I say my favorite player is. And then I met him like right off the stage, shook my hand. He's like, hey man, congrats. And then like I get home later that night, like checking Twitter, and like my buddies are sending me this tweet, like laughing. And I'm like, oh,
good publicity.
That's a tough one.
Good publicity.
Yeah.
What does Gary Bettman say to you when you go up and shake his hand?
Are
you black out at that point? You don't even know. You're just like, let me shake everyone's hand.
I only know because I saw in like videos. He says like, welcome to the NHL to every kid or something like that. Congrats, welcome to the NHL.
Was everyone booing him in Buffalo?
Yeah, or the draft was in Chicago.
Sorry, was everyone booing him?
Yeah. I remember the anthem was like the best part. Like other than getting drafted, like the anthem was sick.
Yeah.
And it was just cool because like our draft was like packed. Like I remember it was packed like to the roof. And then I got to go to the draft last year in Dallas with Kachuk. We went with I went because he like invited some of our buddies from BU. So we went to see him, and like it was like cool, but it like wasn't that packed. But it was like I mean it's still sick for the players.
Chicago's a big hockey city, man. I imagine. Vancouver it was like
it was pretty packed.
It was packed for the first day.
Yeah.
We I'm not gonna get into that right now.
I expected it to be more packed though, for like in a city like Vancouver, you know what I mean? But I don't think they had as many picks as everyone thought they were gonna have.
Yeah.
But like the second day was still almost just as packed as day one.
I enjoyed the second day more because they just flew through the picks. There was no waiting around for 5 minutes. It was just like go.
The first round's a big deal, right?
Yeah,
like they want everybody up on the stage, and that's like everyone's franchise pick.
They like talk. They should just like do it all one day. Yeah. Because it just sucks for like those guys that are ranked like right there, and then like they're like, oh, like I don't know what they say. Like that's the end of the first round. Like
see you later.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah,
like,
see ya.
They could start it like in the morning and go all the way through on one day, and then it's not like that disappointment night of like going home. Like
because what you were talking about, how you're projected at a spot, and that still doesn't solidify that you're getting picked, right? Because it all kind of depends on who else. Like if it goes in order by the rankings, then it kind of falls into place. But if people start taking picks and trading picks, everything kind of gets weird. Like same with Rafi there. He was ranked first round, then he didn't go till the second, right? So there's that chance that you sit there for the whole first round, projected first round, and then you just don't get taken. Yeah. Obviously, you don't know how that feels because you got taken, but like, can you imagine?
That's where my head was at though. I'm like,
but can you imagine
thinking,
sitting
like,
there like that and being like, no,
that's what I mean too. Like you get a suit for the night, like you're feeling good, like
you got dinner reservations.
Yeah. So who was with
then
you at
like
the
you
draft?
go back the next day, it's like you have to, once you get drafted, everything goes away, but it's like that night, like that's gotta suck. Like that's what I think. Like one
Did you
day
guys celebrate hard when you got drafted?
Yeah, like I had a big crew there, so it was like obviously my immediate family, like 3 sets of aunts and uncles, like coaches, cousins. So
because Timmy was there and shit too, wasn't he?
Yeah. So they were there. Yeah, it was fun. It was just a fun weekend.
Well, that's what it's all
my
about.
billet family came. They actually brought me over. I was still in Waterloo, so I drove over with them from Chicago.
How long was that?
It's like a 3-hour drive.
That's
That's not bad. Do you stop for food or just straight through?
Yeah, I can't remember. But
right.
it wasn't bad. It was fun though.
I gotta talk about then. Where were you when you found out you got traded, and what was your reaction?
Yeah, so we were just like watching a movie.
What movie?
It was I don't even know what it was. It was like me, Kachuk, and Patrick Harper, who's played with him at BU. He's a Nashville prospect.
Okay.
So we were just like in the dorm room, like shooting shit, watching a movie, and we saw like on Twitter, like, oh, Duchesne's left the ice. And we're like, oh,
I do remember that.
Yeah, like he left the ice like mid game or whatever because he was traded. And then like we saw like whoever tweeted, Bob McKenzie, whatever, it was like, oh, like pending 3-way deal between like Ottawa, Colorado, Nashville. And we're like joking. We're like, oh, like what if we're me and Harper, like, oh, like what if we're traded for each other, like, like what if we both get dealt like in this 3-way deal? And then like I shit you not, like three seconds later, like my phone's ringing and it's my agent, and we're like dying laughing.
Like, no.
Yeah, we're dying laughing. We're like I just got dished, like 100%. Like why would he call like right now?
As you see that.
Yeah. And so I answer and I put it on speakerphone. Actually, I think Kachuk has a video. He thought it was hilarious, so he has a video. He's like filming. I put it on speakerphone. I don't know why, we were like fucking around, and then my agent like, yeah, I literally I pick up the phone. I'm like, did I just get traded? He's like, yeah, it looks like it. He's like, looks like you're going to Colorado like as part of this deal. And I'm like, all right, like I don't know what else to say. Like, all right, like yeah, talk a little bit. And then we went to get some, like nothing happened, like it blows up on Twitter, people texting me, but I still didn't hear from anyone, and we went to eat. And then my phone rang, and I can't remember if Ottawa or Colorado called me first, but I think it was the assistant GM in Ottawa called me, and, just said, thanks, blah, 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 you've been traded. And then,
thanks.
And then, whatever, like I've been to one development camp, like you're welcome. And then Sackett called me and just, like a welcome pretty much. So it wasn't much. I mean, like, it's not like I played for either team. So, it's just kind of like you just been dealt, like not a big, like, well, it's not like I had to move, didn't have a house or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not like you had your family to move, right?
Yeah. Like, oh, damn, gotta move my family.
You gotta be excited, though, knowing who's there. Like, Graves was there at that point, I believe. Obviously, Nate. And who else is in this? Well, I guess there's a couple more Maritimers or East Coast kids now.
But obviously not back
and New
then.
Hook.
Yeah, New Hook, yeah. How was camp? You just got back. How was camp this year?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a little longer this year, I think, than last year, but it was good. They do a good job of it. It's not like, I heard some of them are, kind of some like bag skates and stuff, but they do a good job with, the ice time and, doing fun activities and stuff too.
Sorry to cut you off. Seen a lot of videos of like the team builders.
Yeah,
rope you guys are doing that. It looked fun though, or like the game where you had to run and jump on a guy when they yelled it or whatever.
Yeah, those are usually like the more fun stuff that we like. We did that ropes course, which was fun, and like the little team building games was fun. And I remember when Ottawa's camp my first year, we did like a cooking challenge as a team builder.
No way.
And stuff. So yeah, like they do have like some fun stuff with the camps.
That's sick.
I want to go to one. Man, I want to play in the NHL so bad.
Yeah, well, your time's over, bud. So
I could still make it. I could.
You wouldn't even make the water boy roll, bud.
What is the key to making the NHL? I guess you haven't technically made the NHL. Like, you haven't played one game. I'm sure that day's coming. But what do you think the key is to all these guys that are, that make the NHL and especially have a long career in the NHL? What have you taken from these guys that you like? Obviously, you skated with Crosby and Mckinnon. These guys are gonna have long careers. Yeah. What are some things I guess you're taking from these guys in order to have a long career in the NHL, which is your goal, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like hard work. Like that sounds corny and cliche, but I think that it really is true. I mean, making sacrifices like that, whether it's like, hanging out with your buddies or going to shoot pucks, like, hard work, stuff like that, like doing stuff extra. I haven't got there, like you said, yet, but I think that those guys are probably extremely, driven and committed to what they're doing. And I think that they're probably, very detailed and, they're not cheating any reps, they're not taking any shortcuts. Mm-hmm. And I think that probably goes a long way when, especially you get to that level. It's a job. You can't have any bad days, really. You can't take a shift off because, I'm sure those guys can, but for other guys, when you get there, it's hard to get there and it's hard to stay. So I think that you got to have all those things to either really, stick around in that league.
Well, I know this is I got to ask this question. Everyone on Twitter was asking about it, but what is it like to skate with Crosby and McKinnon? I know I just kind of asked it, but like, in the room, like, is there joking around? Obviously it's a hockey culture, but what is it like to skate with, essentially the two best players? Or is Brad out with you guys sometimes?
Yeah, he was last summer. He hasn't been. We only skated once so far, and he wasn't out. But
okay. Well, what's it like to skate with those boys, top level?
Yeah, I mean,
players?
it's obviously pretty cool. I mean, like you said, arguably, the top 3 best players in the world. Really, you could make that argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for them to all be from here is also pretty cool. But just being able to skate with them and watch what they do is it's pretty cool. Like I kind of catch myself sometimes. You're just standing in line like what was that? Like what the hell did they just do?
How
like
do you learn that?
Yeah, I don't think you can teach that. But I mean, they're all awesome guys, and like you said, like they're last summer was kind of my first summer like really skating with them, and they make it pretty easy coming in the room and joking around and. It's like they're just like everyone else. They're just insanely good at hockey, but they're just like one of the boys too. So that's what makes it pretty fun skating with those guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must be one of the better parts of the summers, knowing that you're coming home and you're gonna be able to get better. Some guys go back to Sweden and they skate with guys, but
yeah,
knowing that you're gonna come to not a hub of hockey, but a part of Canada where, like you said, some of the best talent in the world, and knowing you're going to get better every single year because you're from here, man, and those guys are too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're going to be able to take a summer off. Knowing when you see Sid wake up on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m., whatever, to go run Citadel Hill, and you see that, and you're like, oh, that's motivating. I got to go do that.
Yeah,
that's a great feeling.
Like, all my buddies, like, at school, like, I kind of like, take it for granted. Like now that you skate with them, you're like, oh, like I'm just going to skate. But, and they're like, fuck, like you're skating with like Crosby and like McKinnon. Like,
yeah.
And then you think about it, it's pretty cool spot to be able to come back in the summer and, train with those guys. Like,
yeah,
it's not a bad setup at all.
No, not at all.
On the training though, what would be like, so now that you're home, how long are you home for?
I think camp probably starts like early September. I'll probably go down like a week early, so probably like end of August probably.
So up until then, will you be training every day?
Yeah.
So run us through what would be like a typical day for you. You get up, make a shake or whatever it is.
That's a great question, dudes.
Yeah. So like
for us
today, I guess this is good. Sure. We had workout at 9, so I was up probably 8. Make some breakfast. Go to the gym, obviously work out, then shake, probably shake, whatever, go back and just hang out, made lunch before I go and go skate. And you think that's usually pretty similar. Kind of just like to have my days like scheduled though, just makes it easier.
So that would be kind of what it would be like for you in the season as well, right?
Yeah, well, see, like college was different because you're like classes, so we practiced at, my first year we practiced at 3, and then this year we practiced at 1:30. So this year was kind of different because I'd have like some classes before practice, and then like a couple of days I had class like after practice, which was awful. It was brutal. It's the last thing you want to do. But my first year class was always before practice. So you would just like go to class, mix in lunch like along the way at the dining hall, and then head to the rink, and then afterwards you were done. But this year, you get off the ice and have to go get something to eat and then go sit in a 45-minute class. It was just brutal. 50-minute.
So when you do your on-ice practices, do the days vary? Like you said, today was skills and power skating. So would tomorrow be like flow drills and shooting, or like does it mix up, or is it kind of the same regimen at all times?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty similar. Like when I'm skating with those guys, like it's pretty similar skates. We usually start off with like skills and a lot of passing, and like just working on like every day, or every game skills, like pickups on the wall and stuff like that, and then we usually end up with like games, like smaller games, like just battle stuff, and those are that's the best part because you get to compete and playing those games, but not too much like flow stuff in the summer, like skating, like just skating and passing, but not a lot of like 2-on-1s and stuff like that.
Probably so specific too, like flow drills is more for like a practice that you have for like a junior
you're working
B
on
team.
your forecheck.
Yeah, exactly. Like your PP2 is up, but it's just like I lost my train of thought because I said junior B.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How have you gone 1-on-1 with Sid yet in the corners? How strong is he down low?
Yeah, that's insane.
Do you even like try, or you just kind of like hopefully?
Well, it's just like hard. Like he's so strong, obviously, to begin with, and his legs are huge, and then he gets so low on top of that. So it's like, And I mean, and then on top on everything of his skill set. So it's like,
so you throw the whole package in the mix.
Yeah, you just throw everything in there. It's like, oh yeah.
So when you're in a battle against like him or Nate or Marshy or whatever, like, and say you lose the battle, is that something that like pushes you to be better and stronger? You're like, well, man, if this guy can be this strong, like, there's no reason why I can't be. Or is it just kind of like, that's not really like, I don't know if you go in the corners as much as like Marshy would or not, right? So it's kind of specific on how your game style is.
I think for sure, like, I think for me at least, like the start of last summer when I first started skating with them, it was like oh, like don't even like, I was like nervous to like get in there and like, you know, poke check or like try and get the puck.
Yeah.
And then I think like as you get more comfortable, it's like, oh, like they're the best player in the world, like I don't want to piss them off, like, you know what I mean? But now that like you're more comfortable, I think it's like, you know, it pushes you to want to go against them and obviously see like, you know, what it takes to be like the top of the top. And I think that now it's like, you know, when you lose a battle to them, like the same time you're like, yeah, it's Sidney Crosby, but also you're like, you know, you're mad because like you want to win it too.
Absolutely.
So like at the start though, it was definitely like, oh, like you shy away because you're like, oh, like I don't want to be in there, like I don't want to be the one that trips them up or like high sticks them in the face,
them into the boards or something.
But now I think it's like you get a little more comfortable now that I've been skating with those guys, and you know, it's a good group.
So
it's
with
fun.
the boys chirpy and shit, like if like obviously you said they made you feel comfortable and stuff like that, and it was an easy transition. So like if you lose a battle with the boys give you the gears, is it kind of like, you know, kind of fun like that, like a little fun competition?
It's hockey culture. You know,
yeah, for sure. I think like we got a good group of guys there, so I think it's pretty fun. You know, the chirps fly around and, you know, guys are giving each other shit. So, but it's all in, like I said, good fun. But yeah, everyone definitely gets on each other.
We got. I mean,
me and Drake are usually pretty quiet because we're the young guys there at Batherson, but we definitely wear a couple.
So is Sid vocal as hell on the ice, or is he kind of just like that same? I don't want to call him monotone, but he just kind of does business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like, will he tell you, I guess, like if he sees something, will he point it out to you and be like, yo, you could do this or try this on the next one, or do they just kind of like let you do your own thing?
Yeah, I think it's more just like, I mean, everyone does, like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys played hockey, like, just like, hey, like next time, like, did you see me cutting there? Like, whatever, just stuff like that. So nothing really like crazy during the summer, but I know what you mean, just because you see him during the year. He's always quarterback and stuff, like when they show those Pittsburgh highlights and stuff. But, you know, just he'll give you pointers and stuff like that.
He's probably just, you guys are trying to relax at the same time, you know, and just kind of get yourselves in the mindset for the year.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. I got a cool picture for that.
Did you see the video we did in Vancouver of the guy that said if you need a place to live, you can stay at his place?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
No, what was it?
I'm going to show you right now.
So we were interviewing fans outside the draft, and we were just picking out jerseys, right? So each team. And we gave the guy the mic to welcome you to Colorado because he was a Colorado fan, and just watch the video.
I never saw this. Like, for me?
For you. Put up to the mic, so.
The coffee's great. Do you mind if we see the braids for the camera? Take the hat off really quick. Fresh cornrows for the draft. Can we get a 360? So we have Sidney Crosby here. Sid, how does it feel to be at the draft?
I should have fast forwarded a bit.
Amazing. What brings you out here to Vancouver other than the draft? Are you doing anything else other than this? Getting drunk. What's your handicap?
I'm terrible at golf. Like, I'm the last resort. Like, if you need a foursome, I'm your last resort to golf.
Some guy comments foursome.
So what's the deal with Philadelphia fans? A lot of people don't like you guys. Hey, Bowers, welcome to the team. It's great to have you with us. Really excited to see what you can do. Like, if you need a place to stay or something. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't live in Colorado, so I can't help you. But if you needed a place to stay, I bet somebody will find something for you.
I never saw that. I must have missed that.
Anyway, so if you need a place to stay when you're up in Colorado, we'll get this guy's contact and you get to go with him.
Because I'm sure you're going to have a hard time finding a place, right?
Yeah.
Tough life. That's hilarious, though. It's funny. It's crazy, though, because, you know, you just got traded there not too long ago, and as soon as we mentioned your name, he immediately knew who you were. So this guy
was
like
pumped on you.
Super fan, you know what I mean? Like, he knows his shit. So it was just cool to see, right? Because, I mean, we're from the same place, and we're excited for people to move on and for like people to make it and stuff like that. So when he was just like, oh yeah, he wanted to talk to you right away. You could tell. So if you'd have been there, you'd have got sidebarred for probably 40 minutes by that guy.
All right, let's get some Twitter questions in here.
Your favorite.
All right. Zach L99. What's your pregame ritual? Are you superstitious?
I would say mine probably changes up like every year.
Good.
Kind of just like there's some that stick around, like, you know, put my right skate on first and right shin pad first, and then I flip it and go left elbow pad first, but which is kind of weird. But I think just kind of they come as the year goes, like a new season comes. I used to be bad, like wouldn't want to change. Like I was wearing the same ripped like Gitch, like all the same stuff, and I never wanted to change. And then I was like told myself, oh, it's a new season, you can change it up. But I think just whatever works. Like if I do something different, go out and have a hat trick, like I'm doing it the next game.
We don't want your whole season to be based on one thing, right? Because then if you don't do this and you have a bad game, then you're thinking about it.
I'll pick some up and drop some. Like if I do one thing, like I used to be bad though. I was thinking like, oh, like I didn't chew a piece of gum before the first. That's why I played terrible. Like I used to be bad with it, but now I've become a little better.
You're just mentally stronger now.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Mead. How can a guy from Cole Harbour whose fiance is from Spryfield score a signed Bowers Avalanche jersey?
I mean, maybe with the Spryfield connection, I can maybe get you one.
I figured he had to put the Spryfield in.
Fine. Can't buy the jersey for you, but maybe if you bring one. Spryfield connection. Spryfield connection.
From Jim Carlson 1571. Who did you hang out with from the Eagles?
Boom.
Well, when I first got there, I was living in a hotel. So, because I mean, they didn't have like an apartment set up, so I was just still living in the hotel. And Connor Timmins was living there, and Travis Barron was living there, and then Pete Tischke and Sasha, two other guys that came from college.
They were all in the hotel?
Yeah, not like we had like the extended stay ones, like was kitchens and stuff, and like two bedrooms. So I hung out with those guys because they were kind of the younger guys when I first got there. But yeah, I mean, I was only there a month, so yeah. I mean, I hung out with Max McCormick a bit, one of the older guys who invited me to dinner a couple of times because I played with his younger brother when I was in Waterloo, so kind of had that mutual connection.
Gesture. It's like one of those vet things that you do is you take one of the rooks in and you take them out for dinner, show them the ropes, show them the places to go.
Nice. All right, from Tiff Nicole 18, what are you gonna miss at BU the most?
Other than your teammates, it says.
Other than my teammates,
baseball tavern.
Yeah, baseball tavern, and I don't know, probably playing for your school is like just pretty cool because it's so like, not that like NHL fans or AHL fans aren't passionate, but it's just like cool playing for your school because like the same kids watching your game are like the same kids you're in class with the next day. And then I would say just like really just like that, and like it sounds lame, but like just like going out to eat with the boys, like you're always with the guys, like just going out to shoot the shit after practice or going to dinner like in the dining hall, like when you're always together. Like just, I mean, messing around with everyone is so much fun. And, but like from the hockey standpoint, obviously, like it's such a good setup. Like gonna play more games next year, but play on the weekends, which is good and bad sometimes, but getting to work out and come to the rink every day. The ice was always open, like you always skate. Like, oh,
this was just your rink? Like
no one literally else. Like no, it was ours. Like they'd rent it to like events and stuff when we were away, and like sometimes there'd be like beer league at night, but like if you want to show up at like 10 before class, like you can go in your sweats and shoot pucks. And
I wish you would have told us that while we were there.
I know. We were skates up.
Grab your wheels.
I want to ask you a question about the fans right quick. In your years playing there, did you ever see like a riot in the crowd or like a fight or anything like that? Or just like over passionate fans taking it to some other team maybe?
No, I don't know. I've never really seen anything. Some crazy ones like Northeastern has probably one of the better ones. So when you play at their rink, just Crosby, one of the oldest rinks, like I think in like whatever North America, I don't know.
Considered a barn.
Yeah, like I wasn't just saying that. Like I think it actually is like apparently like one of the oldest. Oh, shit. And they like pack it just for against us. Yeah. Like their upper bowl is their student section, and it'll be juiced, and then the lower bowl is like pretty packed just because all the students. And they're hard. Like you come out for warm up and they're already chanting. And they would give Oddinger, our goalie, like the hardest time. Like
he's crying.
He got pulled one game, and like he was on the bench and they're ripping him. And but they have, when it goes to overtime, they call it no T OT. And everyone takes their shirts off.
How did you know that? No T, man. No T, I get it.
No T OT. So like they'll like chant it a bit or whatever, and then like literally like you look up and like all the guys had shed their tarps, and like there's a couple girls like in their bras, and it's nuts. Like they had a real good student section. Like that's the one thing about like BU is like we had a good student section. Like the fans would show up, but I think it was like the rink staff, maybe they couldn't get really any like crazy chants going because they just didn't want that. Like we play at Northeastern and they'd literally be chanting like "fuck BU" like during like whistle breaks, and then like the rink would start playing music because they're like, oh, like we gotta cancel.
Too loud.
Yeah, we gotta cancel that out. But yeah, that was funny. That was like a cool college thing.
Probably
like,
some of the best experiences ever as the crowd, right?
Yeah.
All right, last question here from Let's Go Avs 33. How exciting is it to know that you are going to be that? Whoa. How Jesus, Justin? How exciting is it to know that he is going to be one of the biggest names associated with this outstanding young core we're developing in Colorado?
Jesus.
Got through that one there.
Jeez, a little two-parter kind of.
Is it a two-parter?
Oh no, I was reading the one below it.
Shane, what's
Brendan there?
Yeah, Brendan Jordan,
Yeah.
but his Twitter name is Let's Go Avs.
That's probably why we interviewed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good prospects in Colorado, and I think that if you look at the core of their team right now, like a lot of them you could say are young, really. So it's definitely exciting to be able to fight for a spot on that team and be a part of that organization right now, especially the way they're trending. So yeah, I mean they got a lot of good prospects, so I think the future is looking pretty good if everyone keeps trending the right way and the team keeps trending the right way.
What did Nate say about the city? Did he mention anything about like fans, coach, GM, anything like that? Did he say anything about
Where not to go, that kind
like
of
restaurants, anything like that?
Yeah, no, I didn't really talk to Nate about it that much, but I was down in Cape Cod last weekend at the Kachuk's house, and his brother Matthew just kept saying, he's like, Denver's my favorite city. Like he said that was his favorite city to go to when they were playing. So I mean, I haven't really got to be there that much, but I mean, obviously you could tell from the playoffs, like pretty good fan base, looked pretty solid, and
great city.
Yeah.
So was that your first time in Colorado when you went up there?
Last year, last year for development camp, and then this year for that.
Sweet.
Sick. Cool story about Brady Tkachuk. Me and dudes were sitting at Starbucks there, and then he recognized us. He was fans of ours, and he's like, hey, Belanger, dudes, you mind if I grab a picture? And I was like, well, listen, man, dudes is the camera guy, so if you want to get a picture with me, sure. And dudes took the picture of us. So Brady, if you're listening, you're welcome, and you can come on the podcast anytime, buddy.
He was sprinting up the hill in a suit on his phone. I don't know. I was like, yo, and he stopped. And he was like, yeah, sure. Let's get a picture right quick. Like,
yeah,
he wanted. You could tell he really wanted to, but he was actually trying to get something.
Where was he running to?
He was coming from the draft.
Yeah.
We were walking from the draft, and so was he. And I asked him, I was like, well, if you're in a rush, man, you don't have to take the picture. And he goes, no, I'm just trying to make that light. And it's like, there's only 5 seconds left. Because when you do cross a crosswalk, like it counts down from a number. Well, there was only 5 seconds left.
He abides by the rules. No jaywalking in the Tkachuk family. But
so he was trying to run, and I stopped him. But a good kid for taking the picture with me.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like I said, it's tough. They probably get asked all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at some point, when you think you're by yourself and you're running up the street, and then all of a sudden you get fangirled by a couple guys older than you. You're like, yeah, all right, then let's do this and get it over with.
All right, we're coming up on an hour here. Last minute's yours if you want to thank family, friends. Shout out. All your friends are listening, so they're going to be pissed if you don't mention them. So you got to say thanks to everyone. We'll let you be here for a minute.
Yeah, I guess I would just say thanks to you two for having me.
No worries.
Leave those guys out of the picture.
I'll get to see them. So.
Yeah.
We might be coming up to Colorado this
year.
Yeah.
I was gonna give a month. But if you do move into a place, make sure you get a big couch so we can sleep on it.
Yeah, pull out.
Appreciate that. Pull out would be great.
Sure.
That'd be nice.
I don't need a coach.
No.
Dudes sleep on the floor.
Towel.
How's he know so well?
Make sure when you pick a place, the shower has good water pressure too. I don't like a shower where it's low water pressure. I need high water pressure.
Yeah, that's key. That's
high water
key
pressure.
in the locker room too.
We'll just come in the room and shower. We'll just be down there at the boys.
We already went in the BU one, so
yeah, BU.
Anyways,
they had great showers in BU.
Yeah, you liked it when all the players were in there. Anyways.
All right, everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. Bowers, once again, man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
No problem, man. Great to have you.
Everyone, make sure to go to all of our social media outlets. Like, subscribe, comment, Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, all that good stuff. Love you guys. We're out. Peace.
I always find, man.